Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your September 2025 reading. My name is NiJiLL, and you have found Alchemy. Okay. Yesterday I just finished your birthday reading, which was kind of cool. It was a pick a path reading. It's going to be 3 blessings coming to just Virgo between 2025 and 2026 with timestamps, meaning, yeah, timestamps, of course, for the paths, but you know, when these blessings may come to you, what month or the timing of it. So it's kind of cool, and it does sort of. It's interesting because as I'm laying out the cards, I noticed a couple of things. I'll get to those. I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but pretty interesting. Anyway, these were pulled from your fall 2025 reading, which I invite you to listen to. I am going to, the fall 2025 reading covered September, October, November, an ultra summary. So it was pretty short for what it was. And I go into much more detail about these cards, but I repulled them as promised, and I'm going to summarize them right now so you're not completely lost for sure. I will link up those videos either at the end of this video or at in the comments section. But to start off, you had the Knight of Swords, and in this particular deck, anyway, there's no astrological connection to this card except that it's double air, so it's more elemental. But we're looking at a double air card, and this is what it looks like, right? Inspiration rushing in, ambition, something new, something exciting. You know, he cannot think sometimes because he's so excited. Sometimes he has thought about something long enough to where he just pulls out that sword and just charges ahead. Okay, it's different for each situation. But you have here the death card coming in reverse, which we know is Scorpio energy, even in the Swedish deck. And you may have a struggle here releasing something. There's something that obviously needs to be released. The death card usually is a release of something, a transition to another life as a result of that release. You may have a struggle releasing something here. The shedding the old is something we went into in your fall reading. I think that it's really important energy for you to hear. You do have the Magician here in reverse, and this is usually Gemini, Aquarian energy for me. However, many people consider it Virgo energy as well. And I usually only mention that during Virgo readings. But here you have the Magician in reverse. And, you know, in this particular reading, we talked about it in the fall reading. We look at it as a reevaluation of goals and the tools at your disposal. I really believe in order for you to make the most of the Magician card, you need to turn that Death card right side up. So you need to experience that release. If you notice, we're looking at major arcana. So sort of important turning points for you. You have the Page of Pentacles here. And the Page of Pentacles is Mercury and Taurus energy. And you see the fall theme there, right? Very fall-like on here. And there's a sort of curiosity about something new that is coming up in your life. Something that may be on offer to you. Something that may just come out as new. But you do have here you have the Star in reverse, and this is Aquarian energy. And, you know, your faith in something. Listen, you're being asked to release something. You're reevaluating things. In the end, you do rush in with your sword drawn. However, there is something here on the table that you had a lot of faith in the past that is sort of crashing. Your faith in something is leaving or it's gone, and so you decide to finally release it. It's almost as if you've listened to this reading and you're taking the advice, even though I know you haven't yet, right? So you do have abundance at the end of the day here, and I like that for you. Gifts, abundance. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Saturn energy, that Aquarian Capricorn energy, lessons, karma, hard work, right? You've earned this, whatever the heck's on the table here. You've definitely earned it. So moving on to your astrology, you have the card of Taurus, a fellow earth sign. And yes, you could be dealing with a Taurus. You could have Taurus highly aspected in your chart. Somebody else could have Taurus highly aspected in their chart. But Taurus is, their governing planet is Venus. Venus, you know, of course, represents our love life and our money. So both of those things could be on the table. Libra could also be on the table because it's also, Venus is also Libra's governing planet. So we'll keep that under our hats. A lot of earth energy here. You do have You do have hand and you have August. And when we look at the hand, it says in need of help, assistance, and guidance. You may feel that way at some point this month. You may feel, I'm seeing you put a hand up. To be honest with you, I'm seeing the hand without the guidance. I really think that you just put a hand up and you say, wait a minute. There's something I need to stop. I need to stop. Stop the ride. Stop the merry-go-round. I really need to stop and think. August, there's something to do with August. Obviously, this is a time of Virgo, right? It's also a time of Leo, but something could have happened in August to kick this off. There could be something tied to that month for sure. You do have a concert. You could be planning going to a concert this month. It says live performance, but I really do think you're going to be hearing something that is music to your ears this month. You're going to be very happy. I do look at that Page of Pentacles that way for sure. And here you have it. Remember when I first laid out these cards and I was talking about your birthday reading, there was one particular path. I won't say which one. I don't want to guide you in any way, down a path. You need to pick a path. But one of them was very heavy with the birds. Birds were very symbolic. And here you have a bird and a cage door opening and the bird pausing. Bird is like, should I leave? Should I go? I don't know. The bird just sits there, even though the door is open. So you're going to have a door opening for you. Do you fly through it? Or do you sit there in the cage? I understand that the cage is comfortable for you. But is it exciting? Does it really make you feel alive? Even though it's the unknown beyond those bars, it may be something that's better for you, Virgo, for sure. Because look, you have the raven and you have a feather. I'm telling you, taking flight here is something that Spirit is pushing on you in the month of September. You have Raven, and it does say confidence. It says you are encouraged to disconnect from the physical or materialistic and move to the spiritual realm. You have a deep spiritual connection, which you mustn't ignore. You're on the brink of transformation, and your divine purpose may be revealing itself. All of that could be true, but I'm telling you, I'm looking at the birds. To put it quite simply, you have a raven, you have a parakeet. It looks like a parakeet. So you have a caged bird, you have a free bird, and you have a feather. And what do they all have in common other than the fact that they all come from birds? You have that feather. They're all instruments of flight, or they all take flight, right? So you have here a feather, and there's messages. It says number 7 on here, right? Messages. You may be receiving. Listen, a lot of times I'll say messages from the beyond, messages from departed loved ones. If you hear a little moaning in the background, that's my dog actually having a nightmare. He's laying under my desk, like crying. It's okay. It's okay. So you have, yeah. I don't believe it's messages from the departed. I think that you're going to be receiving literal messages this month that you need to listen for. And I think it's going to be connected to your freedom somehow. And there is the past here. So you have August, which is technically in the past. I mean, by the time a lot of you listen to this anyway, right? It could be actually for some of you that are listening to it now, meaning now when I'm releasing it, it could be right now, right? That certain things are coming to light. But you have here the past. There is something that's tied to the past here on the table. I don't know whether you're being asked to release the past, release something from your past, release something that's been in your life for a long time. Maybe that's the hesitation. Who knows here? But it does say I am perceptive. And here's another card of perception, of intuition. Yeah, you're going to be guided. You are. It says you have an inquisitive mind that allows you to uncover important truths. You have a special ability to read into other people's feelings. You're a wisdom seeker, and your angels ask to share your knowledge for the benefit of others. I am perceptive. Interestingly enough, this breaks down to a number 7 as well. 7 is the number of Neptune, which is the number of Pisces, but it is the number, it can be very confusing. It can be very disillusioning, very disillusioned time. So you do have here the vessel. And the vessel is number 69 in this deck. And the vessel is what contains the important stuff, the outside, the structure, right? What is the structure? It's the nest that protects the eggs. It's the savings account that protects you financially, right? It's the body the womb that protects the child. I mean, you can go on, right? But it is the outer, it's very important, right? We need it. What's inside is very, very important. It counts a lot, but protecting what's inside is fundamentally important. I mean, without that, there'll be nothing inside. The body, the container, the cup, it's the vessel. It protects what it also contains. So you may feel very protected in this cage, but you're contained as well. So there is that Neptunian energy there, right? Like everything, the vessel has a life cycle that has to be reimagined. And maybe this cage is something that really suited you, really helped you on your path, but it's starting to rust. The door's not closing properly anymore. Maybe you need something bigger because you've grown. You've noticed this is coming in sideways. And it's both, right? The light portion of this says safe and strong, and the dark portion says trapped. And you may waffle between those two feelings on your journey here, for sure. So you have here your 3 legs. Like I always tell you, the legs can come in order, or they can come out of order. The last leg can come first. It's not a science. It's going to be different for all of you. But here are 3. It's like a situational type thing. Let's start with leg number 1. Oh, before we do this, let me look at this. I really actually forgot about this. You have these runes, right? So you have the eye rune, and it's a witch's rune, and it represents planet X. Planet X is like an imaginary planet. So there's something in your imagination that may be coming to fruition, something you can't prove. It does represent your sign, whatever it is. So it represents Virgo. You have the letters X, S, Z, and M, and those can be someone's initials, a restaurant, a street name, a city, anything like that, a company. So keep those pretty much close to your hat as you go up through your month. One of them or all of them will mean something to you. Here you have the Page of Pentacles on your first leg. And the Page of Pentacles is a repeat from here. We'll notice a lot of themes from here drizzling down here. And here it is. Here is your page, the one we talked about, Mercury and Taurus energy. And it is that wonderful opportunity, right? Something fresh. Something that you're just beginning to see. It looks very promising, right? You have, and I'll move that back into our site in a minute. You do have here the 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords is Jupiter and Libra energy. Interesting energy. So the 4 of Swords here is a withdrawal to think. Right? Yeah. Yep. And that's good. You're rethinking the Death card. You're rethinking the Magician. You're trying to say, okay, what tools do I have that I'm ignoring? Because all 3 of your major arcana are in reverse here. So that withdrawal to think is very important here. You do have here the King of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. So the King of Pentacles is obviously many steps above your page. And it is Sun in Taurus. And it's a warning to be mindful of greed, taking things for granted. You're going to be gifted with something here. And there's going to be a certain impulse to be a little bit arrogant about it. It may cross your mind. It may cross your day. You may go through a day where you feel that way. And this is a warning against that, right? Think of your future. Also, that's another thing. The King of Pentacles is heavily laden with the future. He thinks about not tomorrow, but 10 years from now. He wants something stable. And so this is a warning to really consider everything, because you're going to be gifted with something here. And you have more Pentacles. You have the Ace of Pentacles coming in sideways. You know, if you've seen any of my readings, that the sideways cards here are decisions that you have to make. And that's Earth energy, Pentacles energy. Powerful, raw, unexpected emergence into the material world. This card, okay, is going to be this decision, and this emergence is going to be very dependent upon this King of Pentacles and how you think of things. It's going to be a decision you make. So be very, very clear about your future. Do not act with emotion, do not act with arrogance, to act with logic. And that's a really easy thing for Virgo. And I like that for you. If this was a Cancer reading, I might have to give you a few more minutes of a lecture. I don't think I have to do that. You do have beauty as an undertone. These cards at the bottom are undertones, and you have something interesting over here I'll get to in a minute. So you have beauty, and an undertone is what else is going on underneath everything, right? I like that for you for sure, because it's, if, as you can tell, she's wearing all kinds of jewelry. She just looks beautiful. I mean, I do think whatever goes on here is going to give you a certain sort of glow up, right? And I think that was another path in your birthday reading. There was somebody that was going to experience a serious glow up, an attraction, that, this abundance of, it would make me glow too, right? So a sort of undertone to your month, another gift here, I guess, is that beauty that other people will see, right? And when we add this up and we break it down, we get Uranus, which is that freedom, unexpected. The door opens. What do? You're going to have to make a decision. There's something new, something exciting. It has something to do with money, something to do with goals, something to do with the material world, for sure. Now, here on leg 2, let's see. All right, let me just pull this down. As you can say, I take care of, I take advantage of every bit of space here. So you have the Death card coming in on your second leg, and this is Scorpio energy, and it's a crossover into a new world. It's rebirth energy. Do you see that sun coming up in the background there? Yeah, rebirth energy, crossover. Death card turned right side up. Didn't I tell you you were listening to this advice without even hearing it? Yeah. I really believe that that's what happened here. So you have that. Let me see if I could. You have the three of wands in reverse here. Sun in Aries. Now here it is. It's delay. It could be a cancellation. But there is something going on here. It might get on your nerves initially. Something you were waiting for that doesn't manifest. Something that is slower than you'd like. There's something here that is causing you to stop progress. However, you do have the 6 of Swords coming right after that, Jupiter in Libra, leaving something behind and taking a brand new journey, right? It's brand new because you have the Fool coming in sideways, right? And we know the Fool is Aquarius, Gemini energy, but more than that, it's a new path, and a sideways card. You're going to have to make a decision. Do you take off down this new path? There is a delay. The delay is here for a reason. It's part of your blessing. You're going to slow down enough to say, hey, it gives me time to rethink this. What do I want to do? You're going to be presented with something here, and your decision ultimately is going to be one coming from self-love. And I like that. That is a really nice way of doing what's right for you. Okay? Definitely doing what's right for you. Going down this new path, does it benefit me on my path? Does it make me feel abundant? Does it make me feel, is it loving myself? Is this path going to ultimately be loving myself? And I think that it's important because look, not to jump ahead, but you pulled this card twice, and I don't even know why there's 2 of the same card in this deck. It's never happened. I mean, I'm sure it's been in there, but it's never been pulled like that. This is a sign, and we'll get to that over here, but I just thought I'd point that out. It's very interesting. We add this up and we break it down. We get Pluto death energy again. Something's got to die. There's something that's got to go. We talked about that. There's something got to go. Sorry. Yeah. You need to do something here. You're going to hear something that's going to be music to your ears. You're going to take flight. There's something from the past here on the table that needs to be addressed here, Virgo. Let's see. Now, as I always tell you, these larger cards, I do not take them in reverse, but I take note of them when they do. And this particular card came in reverse. And this is Venus in Aquarius energy. It's the 5 of Swords. This is a potential for like a reconciliation. And when I say that, it doesn't necessarily have to be love. It just could be a reconciliation after an argument, reconciliation from something that's been very tense. But that is the potential. Ultimately, you pick up that sword again. There's somebody that's making you feel very defensive, right? It could be someone or something, a situation, a person. You may be conflicted. This could be a conflict card. It comes in reverse, and then you turn it upright. Which way do I feel? Should I pick up the sword? Should I not pick up the sword? How do I feel about this person? Why do I feel conflicted? Could be that kind of energy, but there is something that changes your mind ultimately and makes you pick up the sword. And it could be something that they do, could be a behavior. Maybe it's that hand up there and you're like, wait a minute. I just saw something I didn't want to see, or I needed to see, or something like that. But you do have here the Five of Wands. In reverse, the Five of Wands is Saturn and Leo. And whatever conflict you had internally is gone. And I think that you're like, okay, I think I know what I'm dealing with here. You do have the Empress, Taurus, Libra energy, Venusian energy, right? You are pregnant with possibility. She encourages what? She encourages self-love. And self-love has come up twice. Against all odds, I may add. Self-love is on the table. You do have here as a last card, you have the Six of Wands coming in sideways. Six of Wands is one of my favorite cards. Minor Arcana anyway. Oh, sorry about that. It is one of my favorite cards. It's Jupiter and Leo energy. It is a victory. There is a victory at hand, but your decision will affect your perception about it. And your decision will affect whether this is really, it's somebody's perception is affected by this. It could be other people. It could be you. But there is a decision you need to make. I do think you're starting to see that caring about yourself is probably the most important thing on this journey, this birthday year. I think if you make decisions from that standpoint, you're going to win. You do have here as an undertone, as I said, self-love mixed with a little bit of sadness. This isn't easy. This isn't an easy choice. You are not, whoever it is I'm speaking to here today, is not a selfish human being and is probably used to putting other people first, and at least most of the time. And so this is not an easy attitude to adopt, right? To say, okay, I love you, but I love myself more. I love my job, but I love myself more. It's whoever's reading this it's not an easy thing for them to slip into. But something needs to be readdressed. You need that in order to get all the abundance that you're supposed to get for yourself. And abundance is many things. It's not just, money. It's happiness. It's love. It's getting it all. It's having it all, right? Abundance is abundance. It's health, mental health, physical health. It's health. It's everything. So you slipping into this is very, very important. Also, we have two number sixes here, and that's a strong message of support and success. But you also have two number fives, and that's a strong indication of conflict and disruption and a little bit of chaos. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter. Growing pains. You are growing. You are experiencing this expansive energy, but you have to approach it a little differently than you've probably approached anything else in your life. Now, when we look at your challenge column, you have the Death card again, but it's on the rebirth side. Do you see the difference between these sides? You have the sun coming up. Rebirth is going to be a challenge for you. It's going to be a challenge for you. The self-love stuff, going to be a challenge for you. You're going to need to do it. It's good for you. Scorpion energy here. You have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Look at that. Jupiter, fixed energy. The wheel turns and someone's resisting. Someone does not want the wheel to turn. I don't know why you're resisting this, but you are, at least for part of the month. You do have Seven of Cups, Neptune and Scorpio energy. Look at that. Bad dreams. People pointing at you, saying you're selfish, you're this, you're that. Maybe this is just stuff you're imagining, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge for you here, for sure. when we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter energy again. Growing pains. What did we say? Let me see if I could straighten this out with the next card. I know it's a little blurry. You do have, and this is your opportunity column, okay? You do have the Ace of Swords. Nope, let me see. I got this trusty deck here. There you go. I don't know what it is. But you have the Ace of Swords here in the upright, right? Air energy. Clarity. He's holding the Ace of Swords in his hand and he's taking off, right? Clarity, crisp, sanity, the gift of clear thought. That is the opportunity you have, or at least one of them this month. You have the Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant is pure Taurian energy, but what did I say? There's something from your past. You're going to have to release it. Breaking free from a cage, breaking free from something that's been around for a very long time, breaking free perhaps of this vessel and creating a new one for yourself. You do have the Justice card coming in here in reverse, Libra energy. Wow, a lot of major arcana here as opportunities, just like up here, okay? This is an unjust decision. There is something bad. Bad is a bad word. It's not an accurate word. There is something that goes on here. I think it's on leg 2 that causes you to stop, causes you to pause, causes you to rethink everything. You're looking at it as delay. Perhaps it's a decision that someone comes to that you think is unfair. There is something that goes on that the scales are out of balance, but it's an opportunity. It's in that column for a reason. A pause, a rethink. There's an opportunity here for that. And when we add that up and we break it down, we get Saturn again. The hard work, the discipline paying off. Perfect actually for a reading that is Virgo. Okay. So let's do your numbers. Okay. So when we add all the numbers up here and we break them down, we get Venus energy. Again. I think a lot of this is goal related, I'm sorry to say. I mean, if you're looking for a love reading, I apologize. I think most of this is probably money, goals, things like that. You do have, as far as numbers go, the number that came out the most was number 4, which is Uranus energy. Unexpected change, liberation from something. The planet that came out the most, Jupiter, expansion, growing pains. We talked about that, right? The sign that came out the most was Aquarius, and that is that Uranus, unexpected change, along with Saturn, the Lord of karma and the Lord of, honestly, hard work paying off, right? So the signs that came out were Gemini, Aries, Virgo, Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Leo, Aquarius, Capricorn, Libra, and Taurus, with Aquarius taking the lead. So we have Jupiter, which is that expansive energy. We have Uranus coming out twice in your overall count here, that unexpected stuff going on. And we have Venus, which is, honestly, in this case anyway, I do think it's your money. So there you have a chance to leave this cage, leave the vessel that may have served you for a very long time, protected you. You've outgrown it. It's time to move on now. Virgo, I do guide you to listen to your birthday reading. Definitely. It's that pick a path just for you. I wish you nothing but the best and happy birthday. Namaste.